My hair look good?
Hair looks great.
Okay, great.
So,
Thank you.
doing a little Q&A on tattoo needles today.
Sure.
First question comes from Charles B. at Shogun Tattoo in Pasadena, California. Charles asks, what type of liner grouping, tights, straight, loose, etc., do you like to use on older skin? Senior citizens specifically.
All right, that's fair. All the questions I'm going to answer are a bit from my experience, right? So I'm not going to have the answers for everybody. I'm going to have the answers that work for me and some of my experiences. I've had luck with, depending on where on the body the lines happen. I've done tight needles on the inside of one of my older client's legs. He was in his late 60s, early 70s. And I did a tight little tat in there. Healed great, the lines look great. I did another one up in this terrible waffly crepe skin of the traps kind of this collar. And I did it with a tighter needle, but not like, I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you. This is some years ago. And I remember tattooing it, and it was one of those things where I would, I knew the skin was very fragile. Tattoo it real lightly. Skin, the line's not solid yet, right? It's like fucking dark red, blackish in the spots, right? Could tell. Hit it again, fucking blow out. I'm like, I don't know how to do it. Anyway, and I finished it, whatever, right? And it was okay looking. Like, I was like, okay. But man, oh, poor old man Phil, rest in peace. He came back, and that looked fucking terrible. It was blown out like you wouldn't believe, and I wanted to cry because I love that guy, and I'd done a lot of work on him, and up until then, all my tattoos looked pretty good on him, and that was not good looking. I don't tattoo a lot of people that I would, categorize 60 and over, right? We're going to talk about skin types. My inclination with some of that is that you want to use a machine that's not hitting super hard. And I think another thing that maybe that would help, a little less needle oriented, but to water down your black a little bit, right? That's something that we've learned going back from whoever, I think Tony Edwards first taught me that back in '93, getting tattooed by him. He was doing all this amazing single needle work, and I have it on my wrist, and the inside of my wrist, it still looks great, that he pours his black and he puts a couple, like 2 drops of water in the little bitty ink caps, right? So I just copied him back then because it was like an easy way for that ink not to want to walk out of what you're doing it in. So I know that's not giving you maybe the answer you want, but those are some things I would say that you could think about going toward with that. I guess in some ways my inclination is to use like a bug pin liner on them because it has less trauma, and I think they put in cleaner lines than a standard straight. They're just a little bit cleaner because of the bug pin, the way they introduce pigment and their size. So I would probably think about that as a way I would lean more towards those. And again, honestly, I think it really depends on body part. If you're tattooing somebody on the inside of their bicep, maybe it's gonna walk when they're older no matter what, especially if you're not packing color in there. If you're tattooing the elbow or something weird. I know that when you put color into people, most of the time into older skin like that, the color is amazingly saturated. So it might be one of those things that you can counsel your clients, hey, if we do this tattoo, this is, the age of your skin has a proclivity to want to spread. We need to think about doing a tattoo that has some color packed into it so it keeps your lines crisper and everything stays a little more crisp and legible. Again, maybe not the answer you're looking for. I'm really sorry if that I'm not trying to avoid it. I just don't have a great answer for that. Those are some of the things that come to my mind from my experience and just thinking about, your question. So I hope that helps.